While there. All right. So Pastor Mike talked the past 2 weeks. Who remembers what he talked about 2 weeks ago? He talked about what emotion? Fear. What did he talk about last week? He wasn't here. Actually, he was. Oh, you weren't here. I see. Okay. Sadness? Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Tonight, we're going to talk about an emotion that you're probably not familiar with. We're going to talk about anger. Okay? We're talking about something that really pisses me off. Okay? I said it. If my 4-year-old was here, I wouldn't be saying it. But there are things, right, that make us mad. Is that fair? Yes. And we talked about, the theme verse Pastor Mike laid out for this year is from John 10:10. The thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy. But Jesus says, I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. And so how does anger fit into that abundant life? And so I thought I'd start out with just talking about some things that make me mad. So first, it makes me mad for some reason, on like a basic level. It makes me mad when people put vinegar on French fries. Okay? Now, I know some of you probably like that, and you're communists, but here's the thing. Okay? Vinegar doesn't belong on French fries. You use it to clean bathrooms, for crying out loud. Like, it shouldn't be on French fries. Alright, so, it makes me mad when people waste food. Oh my gosh. When people waste bacon, they should be thrown in jail. I make bacon for the guys at my student home like a couple times a week, and I remember one time I went to put something in the trash and someone had scraped off like 3 strips of bacon into the trash. And I was like, I wonder how long that's been in there and if I could eat it and not get sick. Because I was like, I can't believe we're wasting bacon of all things. But it just drives me crazy. Part of it is I've been places where there are people who have no food, and a family of 4, on average, throws away 80 pounds of food a week. That's insane. Okay? That's insane. So we should, if you're not going to eat it, don't take it. Be thankful, be appreciative, but that really just drives me crazy when people waste food. It drives me crazy when people walk around with earbuds in when they're supposed to be talking to flesh and blood people in front of them. Like when they're at the grocery store and Abraham Lincoln is checking out and the cashier is talking to him and he's not listening because he's listening, to, I don't know, Fetty Wap or Radiohead or whatever Abraham Lincoln listens to. But here's the thing, like if you're talking to real people, another thing that drives me totally bonkers is you'll see people like sitting beside each other, not looking at each other, and they'll have each of them will have 1/2 of a set of earbuds in. And they're like looking in opposite directions. And it's like they don't even realize that they're in the same space together. It's really, really bizarre. This Alright. I have 2 younger brothers. I have 2 younger brothers, and one of them lived with us before he got married. He was out of college, he was working, he lived with us before he got married. And I love my brother. But he would load the dishwasher like he was in some kind of contest to see how few things he could put in the dishwasher and yet still leave room for nothing else to go in the dishwasher. So it'd be like bowls, like face up, little like cesspools of bacteria and stuff when you open the dishwasher, they're just sitting there, you're like, oh my gosh. Like, it's like somebody looks at it, it's like, how can I make this awful for everybody else so that nothing gets clean? It drives me insane. Or you'll see people, they're like, let's take 4 cutting boards and put them together, like the dirty sides together, and put them in the dishwasher, and then they're like, this didn't get clean. Duh! So, it drives me a little crazy. I think there should be a level 2 for unauthorized stupidity if you can't load the dishwasher correctly. Alright, it really makes me mad when the person up front speaking just reads their PowerPoint slides. They seriously turn their back to the audience and read the words as if everyone else in the room is illiterate. Did they not read their notes beforehand? Did someone else make the slideshow up for them? Do they even know what they're talking about? Why are they reading so slowly? I already read the whole slide and they're still going. Hey, person speaking, there are people right behind you. Yes, you. Turn around. Turn around. Oh, every now and then. Does that drive you crazy a little bit? Right? It's like, this is super important what I want to share with you today. I've thought about it a lot. Now, if you'll just turn with me and read what I wrote here 3 years ago, when PowerPoint was invented. Actually, that's probably like 10 years ago. So, that kind of stuff drives me crazy, a little bit. But on a serious note, there's some other stuff that makes me angry. Okay? It makes me angry that there are millions of slaves in the world right now. On average, they're aged 12 to 14. On average, majority of them are used in what's called the sex slave trade. And it's not other places, it happens in America too. Starvation, the fact, we talk about wasted food, there is enough food on planet Earth for everybody on planet Earth. Just for some reason, some people have way more of it than other people. Poverty, and there are people who live on less than $1 a day around the world. And you're like, I live on less than $1 a day. No, you don't. If you took everything that you have in a day and tallied it up, it'd be way more than $1 a day. So they live on less than $1 a day. Bullying, people who take advantage of other people, right? When people make jokes at other people's expense, like they're too insecure to just make a joke that's funny without it tearing somebody else down, that makes me angry. When people make fun of people because they have a disability or because they're a different ethnicity than them, that drives me crazy. It makes me mad. It makes me angry. And the good thing is that anger isn't necessarily a bad thing. Jesus got angry. Angry. Walked into the temple, saw the money changers turning God's house into Commerce Central, and he got insta-tight. And he made a whip. Jesus made a whip and drove them out. Now, it doesn't say that he hit anybody. He wasn't knocking people unconscious or anything like that. But he was just making an example and just being get out. I'm serious. And they were whatever. And he's okay, I'll make a whip. And they're whoa, he's got a whip. Get out. So Jesus got mad. It's okay to get mad. The problem is what we do with it. I'll see people be completely horrible to each other, and I'll be it kind of makes me mad. But then I'll lose my mind if I can't find my glasses for 10 minutes. What the bleep? Where are my glasses? I had them on my face 10 minutes ago. I'm what is going on? And I get up and I'm sitting on them or something. But I get so mad. Or we hear about terrible things going on around the world. It don't really make us mad. We feel hey, somebody should do something about that. But the Wi-Fi goes out, and we're what the ham sandwich is up with this crap? And we don't know what to do. Mister, do you know why the Wi-Fi's down? No! I'm mad about it too. What are we gonna do? We have to solve this problem right now. People are starving to death, but we can't get on the internet to watch YouTube videos about it, so we're really mad. Now, so I want to leave you just with a couple thoughts to kind of start a conversation about what we could do with our anger that will be a little bit different, okay? Now the first comes from a book in the Bible called James. It's a letter. James 1:19 starts. It says, understand this. It goes on to say that everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. It goes on to say that our anger doesn't produce the right kind of living, the righteousness that God desires. Our anger, if we don't channel it through what God desires, our anger on its own doesn't produce the kind of things that God wants to produce in us. It leads to violence, right? It leads to disrespect. It leads to bottling it up and then unleashing it on the first person that says something to us, right? You're mad, and you've just been bottling it up, and bottling it up, and bottling it up, and somebody comes and they're hey, there's something on your shoe, and it's they dropped a Mentos in a thing of Dr. Pepper, and you're just nothing's wrong with my shoe, there's something wrong with your face. Whoa, I thought you'd want to clean it off. I'm sorry. I think I broke the mic? Oh, no. Oh, well, okay. I'm not going to hit it. Anyway, we get mad and we unleash it, and that's not what God wants. And so kind of a math problem, if you will. I know you're I don't want to do math or something, but here's the deal. If you're quick to listen, plus, this is addition, it's real easy, plus slow to speak equals slow to become angry. If you're quick to listen and really hear what the people around you are saying, if you're tuned into what's going on, and you're slow to speak until you know what's going on, you're going to be a lot slower to become angry. A lot of the times we jump to conclusions about stuff and we snap. And we don't even know what was actually being said or what was being talked about. And we get mad. And it's like if we would have just taken a second and finished listening to the sentence they were saying, we would know what was going on and we wouldn't have gotten so angry. And so we need to be careful because anger that isn't channeled through something positive, that we don't take to God, is going to take us in a direction that is destructive. It's not going to lead us anywhere helpful. Anger that leads us to punch something, it's like, well, if I don't punch this, I'm going to punch someone. Why does anything have to be punched? What? Because I'm angry. Right. But here's the thing. You punch a hole in the wall, the world has not become a better place. Right? In fact, it's a little draftier. And you might say, well, somebody's going to get paid to fix that. They're going to get paid either way. And so it would be better to channel our frustration, channel our anger into energy to do something good with it. And if we're getting angry over stupid, insignificant stuff, and that's ruining our lives, we need to step back. Because that means there's a whole host of other things that really do matter that we're not getting angry about. And so another verse from the book of Ephesians. Chapter 4, verse 26. It says, "And don't sin by letting anger control you." So it's not a sin to be angry, but it is a sin. It is going to separate us from God. It is going to jack up our lives if our anger controls us. If you get angry and you're like, well, I did it because I was angry. I threw him off the bridge because I was angry. I set the house on fire because I was angry. I smashed the Xbox because I was angry. I ate my cell phone because I was angry. We lose control with our anger. That's going to be a problem. It might be okay right now, but somewhere down the line, it's going to land you in a situation where you could be arrested, where you could lose your spouse, where you could never get to see your kids ever again. Some of you know this all too well. Some of you know this all too well. And so if we let our anger control us, if we let the anger drive, it's going to take us somewhere where we don't want to wind up. And it says, don't let the sun go down while you're still angry, for anger gives a foothold to the devil. The idea here, my wife and I have been married for almost 12 years. We try as hard as we can. If we're mad at each other, if we're angry about something, somebody said something that hurt the other person's feelings, we try to not go to bed PO'd at each other. Because the longer you wait, the worse it gets. And if you're just like, you're not mad at me, right? And you're like, no. They're still mad. They're still mad. So just, you got to work that out. So you got to talk about it. But we like to let anger just sort of fester, and we're like, oh, it'll take care of itself. If you've ever been angry, it doesn't take care of itself. It needs a release. It needs some way to deal with it. And so we need to talk to people about it. We need to make it right. And so now I want to go. Now this is going to seem a little strange, so just bear with me. And I'm going to read this because it's going to seem strange. This is from the end of Psalm 137. This is a song, a prayer to God. It says, "O Lord, remember what the Edomites did on the day the armies of Babylon captured Jerusalem." You were all there, you remember. Okay. They yelled, "Destroy it!" They yelled, "Level it to the ground." So these people captured Jerusalem, and they were just like, blow this place up. And then the writer goes on to say this, "O Babylon, you will be destroyed. Happy is the one who pays you back for what you've done to us. Happy is the one who takes your babies and smashes them against the rocks." What? Okay, so you're like, there's no way that's in the Bible. It is in the Bible. Please, if you're ever somewhere and somebody pulls out this last verse and uses it as like, now I want y'all to go home and smash babies against rocks, you have to run away from that person. Okay? Here's what's going on. Okay? The person who's writing this is fired up because this nation came and obliterated and humiliated and enslaved their nation. They're mad. They're mad about it. There's a great injustice that has been done. But they don't go out and do the things they're talking about. They vent their frustrations to God. And they're not saying, "God, go smash some babies on some rocks." They're saying, "This is how I feel right now. This is how I feel. But I'm not going to act on this, because if I act on it, I'm going to kill some babies, and that's terrible." I'm not going to act on it. I'm going to vent it to God, and I'm going to trust that God is going to take care of it. That God is going to right all the wrongs someday. And so a better question then is, when we get angry, do we ever vent it to God? Do we ever say, God, I'm so mad right now. Okay? I made a sandwich, somebody ate it, I'm about to snap. Okay? I need help, I need guidance, like whoever ate that sandwich, like even in that moment, whatever you're feeling, God can handle it. If you're like, whoever ate my sandwich better get diarrhea, Lord. Okay? God can sort that out. God's not going to be like, well, that's what they asked for. I gotta do it. Like, God's going to be like, oh, okay, let's calm down here, Miss Melodramatic. Like, God is going to deal with it in the most just, right, and loving way. So hang on. I'm almost done, okay? Real quick. When you guys are talking about your future, a lot of times people ask you, what do you love to do? Like, what makes you come alive when you do it? There's another question I would like to encourage you to consider, though, as you're thinking about what you want to spend your life doing. What you want to spend your energy doing. So please, hey guys, please listen. Please listen. Now, don't answer this question. I'm not talking about when people, pick their teeth at the dinner table or something like that. What are the things that happen in life that make you angry, that you're like, when that happens, that's wrong, and somebody should do something about it? That's fine. We're not going to share them right now. We're actually going to share them in a second. You're going to break into groups and share them. But when you're thinking about what you want to do with your life, maybe God wants you to make right that thing that drives you crazy that is wrong with the world. For me, it makes me furious that people exploit teenagers. And what I mean is like the human trafficking thing, but also so much advertising is targeted at teenagers for one reason and one reason only, so they can get your money now and your money later. So they don't care what kind of poison they sell you. They don't care what kind of bad images they paint of what your life is supposed to look like. They don't care how insecure or insignificant or warped your sense of perception is, because all they want is your dollars. And it drives me absolutely crazy that happens. Because it's not fair. And when I was a teenager, I didn't even realize it was happening. And so for me, I wanted to dedicate my life to serving teenagers, to being a positive voice in their lives, so that they would have another option to consider than just going the way of being exploited by pop culture. So what made me angry motivated me to make a difference in the world, and maybe it can do the same for you. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to pray. Then I'm going to put a list up on the board, or on the screen, the board. It's 1930s all over. I'm going to put a list up on the screen. We're going to divide up. Okay, so you'll just find whichever leader you're assigned to. So just go with your grade. It's kind of divided up by grade and gender, so just go along with that for right now. When you get in those groups, you're going to talk about two things. One, what are those things that make you angry? And two, what's something this week that you could do? It might just be pray about it. It might be research about it to see what kinds of ways there are to get involved with making this right. But we're going to talk about what makes you angry and what can we do to make it right. So I'm going to pray. We're going to split those groups for about 5 minutes, and then we'll wrap up. But let's pray.